and today I have a very exciting video for you guys. I've been wanting to make this video for the past month, but I was just, finishing everything up, making sure I had everything ready before I made it, because this video is a very special video. So if you couldn't tell by the title, this is going to be my second Stranger Things Season 3 theories video. That's a mouthful. So if you don't know, the Stranger Things Season 3 trailer came out about a month ago. No, it was almost 2 months ago that came out. Wow, I'm late to the game. Okay. And I watched it then, and I was going to do a reaction video, but then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. So here we are, and these are my new theories that I've come up with after watching the trailer. Okay, so if you watched my last theories video, I posted that about 4 or 5 months ago. I will have that link down below. I would recommend watching that one first, because I'm going to add on to some of those theories, but those still stand. I'm not correcting myself, I'm adding to them, if that makes sense. So all of the pictures and evidence I used to support these theories, copyright goes to Netflix and Stranger Things, please don't sue me. Right, I believe that's it. So we can just get on with the video. Also, I'm sorry that my hair is really frizzy. It's been raining a lot here and it's hot, so. And there's also a bunch of workers outside doing something. I was just taking an exam an hour ago, and someone was literally hammering outside, and it was so loud. And now there's motorcycles and airplanes, and I think my neighbor's playing basketball, so the struggles. Okay, I hated that. Okay, so the first one is Max and 11. They're friends now. That's pretty much it. So in the trailer, there were pictures of them, I literally can't think. What is my brain doing? There's pictures of them in the trailer, and scenes of them doing stuff together, having sleepovers and doing photo shoots or something together. I don't know. But I also think that Max will kind of be a really big influence on 11, because she hung out with Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will for so long, and never really had that girlfriend, you know what I mean? But I feel like Max is going to show her how to be a girl. There was a scene of them going to the mall together, and kind of showing her the ropes of that kind of thing. So I feel also the directors and stuff said that this season wasn't as dark, and it was focusing more on the fact that it's summer and all of the kids are out of school, so the relationships are going to be played on more. So I feel like this relationship is going to be a big one. Okay, next category is romance, with all of the different ships. Okay, so the first one that I want to talk about is 11. Now, in both of the previous seasons, their kiss scenes were at the last episode, and everything was building up towards that, and it was the biggest deal for the fans and stuff. But this time there was one in the trailer. That usually means that there are a lot more in the season, that they could spoil one and it not be a huge deal. Could you imagine what? Could you imagine Season 2 that kiss was in the trailer? That would have been a huge deal and everyone would have been upset. This one, they could put one in the trailer because there's so many other ones, and she's there to stay. You feel me? The next one is Jopper, which is Joyce and Hopper, if you didn't know. So there's a scene in the trailer where Hopper is sitting alone at a fancy dinner, meant for two obviously, but he's alone. And then the scene right after that, it immediately cuts to Joyce, which either could be the editors wanting to hint at something, or the editors trying to trick us, because all the fans want Jopper to be a thing. So the editors could either be tricking us, or Jopper is actually going to be a thing. We are yet to find out. The next one is Billy. Just Billy by himself. There's a scene in the trailer, I'm going to use that phrase many times throughout the course of this video, where he makes eye contact with this girl that looks his age, looks like it would be appropriate, because he works as a lifeguard at the pool. But there was no casting call for her, and she doesn't have a name. So I don't know if she's a big character or not. Most likely not. The next one is Karen with Billy again, which is so gross. She needs to stick to Ted. They spend more time at the pool together. I don't know if the directors are going to continue on that relationship or not. Again, we are yet to find out. Next is Jancy. They're together at the Hawkins Post, which is like the newspaper. So I feel like they're gonna team up and kind of expose everything, which helps us segue into our next category, which is exposure. When I have a feeling that when Jonathan and Nancy went to the newspaper, they were going to expose what Murray said to do in season 2. What a tongue twister. But still, you need to like water it down and give the public something that they can handle, but still telling them the truth. So I have a feeling that they're gonna do that, and maybe they're there to get like interviewed or to tell their stories or what. I'm not sure exactly. And there's also a scene where people are standing with like protest signs saying like, "We stand with downtown," blah blah blah. So maybe the general public and population of Hawkins found out that something happened and a bunch of kids died and it wasn't a chemical leak. I don't think that they're going to tell them about the Demogorgon, because I feel like no public would really like understand that, and they would just be like, yeah, that's a joke, that's not true. So maybe they're just like, all these kids died because of this horrible thing in this lab, and that caused like the whole state of Indiana or the whole like area of Hawkins to kind of rally together and support the area that went through that, even though the people are like, that's not what happened, but okay. The next category is growing up. I don't know why I just did that. Okay. In a lot of like interviews and stuff, like I said, it's based on summer and the kids being out of school and then going to high school, and it's lighter and more focused on them living their lives instead of like trying to live, right? Another big plot point that they said they were going to focus on a lot was 11 being a person and experiencing new things that like a kid her age would be experiencing, and Hopper is not a fan of it because he's like her dad and he's just like, no. There's also a voiceover in the trailer where Mike is saying like, we're not kids anymore. Did you really think that we were going to play games in my basement all day? No, you need to grow up, like that kind of thing, just like being his rude self. And while that voiceover is happening, it's clips. There's one clip of Dustin and Lumax or Lucas and Max, whatever you want to call them, are running away like, oh, they're so happy. And I'm guessing, you know, 11 and Mike aren't there, so they're little couple-y things, and it's leaving Dustin by himself. What if Will has another significant other and that leaves Dustin by himself with Steve? That would be amazing. And then there's another scene where Will is like crying and looking at old pictures of them when they were younger, like I guess before all of it happened. And they're all kind of just sad, and some of them are growing up a lot faster than the other ones, and they're being left behind, and it's just a sad thing, and it's gonna be really sad, and I can already tell you that, so be ready. The next one, we're getting more into like less of the people and more of like the actual plot line of like the Demogorgon and stuff. Water. So if you watched my last theories video, which you should have if you listened to me, if not, you're going to be confused a little bit. I talked about water being a big gateway for the villain / evil in the season. We don't know what it is yet. We don't know. It could be demo cats. What if that's a thing? Demo fish. So, like I was saying, the water is going to be a big gateway for whatever the villain is to get in contact with a lot of people all at one time, because it's the summer and the community pool is gonna be filling up with people, and they're just gonna be like zoop, and it's gonna eat a bunch of people all at one time. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but it could be. It seems right. There's also a scene where Billy, who works as a lifeguard at the pool, is in the shower and he has a wound. He has a boo-boo on his arm. And it looks like something that came from the Upside Down. You will see a picture of it. It's very veiny and like purpley. And he's running water over it in the shower, and he's like touching it like it's painful. He's like, so maybe some connection with him because he works. I really hope he dies. Honestly, I really want Billy to die. Okay, there's also a part where 11 is at a beach and she's having one of her tantrums, psychic tantrums, whatever you want to call them. She's on the beach and there's an upside down storm above her. That's the red and the blue, and you know, the upside down storm. Lightning, she's kind of flipping out. So, going along with 11, when she's in the void, there's water on the ground, and the water is always how she gets into contact with the people when she like brings them to her. It's kind of weird, but that's how she does it. And yeah, so I feel like that's gonna be a big like communication point, you know, just like together again at last. Yeah, so another thing about water is that things travel through water, especially liquid. That made no sense. Barb was taken. She was bleeding, right? The Demogorgons come through, like, they are, like, attracted and can, like, smell blood, and that's where they find their victims, right? So she was bleeding, and she was sitting by the pool. The blood dripped into the pool. What happens when blood drips into the pool? Think about it when you drip, like, food coloring into water, how it, like, spreads super quickly. So instead of the blood just being concentrated on someone's hand or, like, on their arm or something, it would be, if it gets into the water, it would like spread and all of the water would be contaminated with that blood. So it would be a stronger like point for like a Demogorgon to want to go to, and all of the people would be in the pool or near the pool, so it would have more people to eat or do whatever it wants to do with. So the next thing is electricity, and what I've noticed that a lot of like writers and directors and editors do is that if there's like an underlying message in the coloring of a show or of a trailer or of a specific season, so if you know, what is going on? If you notice in the trailer, there's a lot of electronic, vibrant neon colors. And since it's coming out on July 4th, there's a lot of like fireworks and red, white, and blue and stuff like that in the trailer, which could mean, I think, that it has an underlying meaning. I might just be looking too far into it. An electricity kind of theme through it. Okay, that is also like the electric thing with like the 80s. That was a big thing in the 80s, but I think it's a little bit more than that. I think the duffers are smart. There's also a man in a gas mask. It's like a split second. His wires are blue and red, which means upside down. And if you know the real story behind Camp Hero in Montauk, New York, you know that's the story that's what Stranger Things is based off of, and they used a lot of like electric things to do these like mind experiments on people. At the very beginning of the trailer, all of the kids are building an antenna to talk to another dimension, to talk to the upside down. Who knows what? They're talking to someone. Electricity. Another thing that ties the electricity with the water is that electricity travels through water extremely quickly. That's why if you put water on like a socket, it will shock you, and that's why you're not supposed to like take your phone in the shower and stuff. And you're supposed to get out of the pool when it's lightning outside, and my mom always tells me not to take showers when it's like a thunderstorm because the lightning could strike the house and then it will travel through water and it will shock you if you didn't know. So again, the water, lightning from the upside down storm striking the pool, everyone's dead. Well, you wouldn't really die, but it's upside down, so like you never know. The last thing, finally we are at the end, is a new villain. Now they said that they were going to keep the Demogorgon Mind Flayer thing the same, and they weren't really going to add anything to it, and they weren't going to take any villain out of it. But at the very end of the trailer, there is a new villain that we've never seen before, but I think we have. Again, because it's like a Demogorgon mixed with a Demodog mixed with the Mind Flayer. It's like all of them. And I don't play D&D, so I don't know if that's an actual character, but just going off and trusting them that they're not adding anything new, I think the Mind Flayer comes to life. Okay, look at the picture. Tell me that does not look like the Mind Flayer in a Demogorgon form. Like, it does, because, like, it has the multiple limbs, and then the limbs branch off into that. And we all know how the Mind Flayer, it thinks it's this superior being that wants to take over the world, right? So maybe if it gets enough power by, like, eating enough children or whatever it has to do, it can become a real life thing, just like the Demogorgons did. So what if the Mind Flayer does that? And that's, like, the new thing of the season, because that's really what it looks like to me, unless it's a completely new thing, because it has way too many limbs to be a Demogorgon. And it just, I'm telling you guys, you gotta trust me. Actually, don't do that. Someone's gonna be like, that's not true. Yeah. That's the theories video. I'm planning on this one being the last one before the season comes out. If they release any more trailers, I might do one like right before the new season comes out, because you guys seem to really like these videos, which I love because I love talking about Stranger Things. So yeah, comment any theories that you have, if you have any, or if you agree with any of mine, just so we can kind of get talking about it. Yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Sunday with a brand new YouTube video.